Hello, I'm Jackson Kimley, president and founder of Midland Co. Well, we are developing a shrimp production facility here in Story City, actually in the old outlet mall. Here today we have our commercial pilot systems that we're using to demonstrate the production technology in our novel algae-based system that enables a zero discharge facility. The first of its kind in aquaculture and enabling shrimp production here in Iowa. We'll take a look at the systems and I'll answer any questions that anybody has. So we'll walk back. So you'll see actually on our right as we're walking back is actually this wooden tank. Was our first commercial pilot for grow out here in Story City. We've harvested 4 batches of shrimp from this tank and have shown the market acceptance and have made updates to our design. So really kind of build, design, and learn is a key to a lot of what we're doing. So we'll walk back and we'll touch base on this. We're going to be walking by the next commercial grow out pilot that we are building currently. I'll touch base a little bit more on that as we get back here. But we'll take a look first at our commercial nursery, which will have some good sized shrimp in it that we can see. So in land-based production, and specifically in shrimp, there's two key parts. So you have your tank that holds your shrimp that you're producing. You want that tank to work correctly and be able to provide a good environment for the shrimp. And then you have the water treatment area. So you need to be able to get waste out of the tank, to treat it, to clean it, and then have it come back. Really kind of multiple moving parts. So we'll start with, there's 2,000-gallon nurseries that you can see here, well insulated to keep in the heat from the shrimp production tanks. These are connected to water treatment over there. We'll start with taking a look at the shrimp themselves and taking a step up there. So as we can see here, we've got lots of beautiful shrimp that are getting closer to market size. So usually this system would actually only have the nursery stage. These guys have stayed in here longer. But you can see a little bit of what we'd like to see. Shrimp up in the water column. They're active, they're swimming, almost like what you'd see salmon or trout do. And really the future. And that water is very clear. Some of the brown you see is just lots of shrimp and the blue and gray color that they have. So these guys are under light 24/7. So they're getting light 24/7. They're also being fed 24/7. We use feeders that are dropping in feed, which is just an extruded pellet that is dropping into the tank constantly. Providing good feed, good environment really is the key to success with these guys. So we can step away from those shrimp specifically, and we'll talk a little bit more about kind of how our systems work and what we're doing. So these tanks both drain actually from the bottom. And then the clean water is actually the pipe up top that goes to each tank. So the waste gets removed through the bottom. That's why we have decking that's able to remove the waste and take it to the water treatment area. Both of these tanks are connected to the same water treatment system. So if we walk over here, our first step of water filtration to be successful is to remove the solid waste. So this filter right here is called a drum filter. This actually just removes the solid waste through mechanical screening. So essentially as the solids pass through the screen, it periodically backwashes to remove the solids from the system. You want to be able to remove the solid waste that the shrimp excrete quickly and effectively so you have good water quality. Most of our work has been in development of what we have over here. So this is called an algae-based moving bed bioreactor. So shrimp excrete in dissolved form nitrogen, phosphorus, and CO2. What we've developed is growing algae attached surface on these discs, and that provides an opportunity for a symbiotic biofilter. So this algae is able to remove nitrogen, phosphorus, and CO2 all while adding oxygen. This creates an incredible opportunity to have a biofilter that simplifies the systems, it lowers the operational cost, it lowers the capital cost. You're also able to capture those nutrients and reuse them. So the algae itself does get consumed and supplements the feed diet of the shrimp. What they don't eat gets caught in our solids filters and gets land applied. So we're able to recapture carbon, recapture nutrients, and reuse. Above all, what's really important in these systems is we're one of the first to develop a true zero discharge facility. We want two things to go out of this facility: fertilizer-rich solid waste that can be land applied and help capture carbon and nutrients in our soils here in Iowa, and shrimp. Most facilities will discharge a lot of wastewater due to nitrate buildup and phosphate buildup. We've built a system that's able to avoid that problem. So from here, we've removed the solid waste, we've removed the dissolved waste, and it's clean. From here, it gets pumped back and the shrimp are happy. And that's really the key to the business. Happy shrimp is going to lead to success. So we can walk back towards the grow out and take a quick look at that. What you're going to see is the same processes in this commercial grow out pilot, except larger. So this tank is actually built with galvanized steel. We've seen a lot of this in Iowa. It's strong and cheap, and we've used it to store our grain for some time. We're happy with this setup. So this tank, again, is very similar setup. You can see right in front of us a galvanized steel tank with a liner to hold the water and keep it waterproof. The steel provides the backbone to hold the water in place. Then to the left, you'll have the water treatment. The water treatment system is the same as what we saw in the nursery. So it's solids filtration first and quickly to remove the solid waste from the water, algae to remove the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and the CO2, and to add oxygen. And then that water is pumped back clean to the shrimp. They're able to recapture some of the algae as feed, and the rest is used as caught in the filters and then land applied again. Again, on this tank, we've have it above concrete slab, so it's elevated so you can have your drain line go underneath. But yeah, our goals are to use these commercial pilots and the proof of concept to build a larger production facility. Here in Story City, to build it out, build 24 tanks that are similar in this in size. So this is actually an 8,000 gallon tank. And to start to get to larger production, we've got a lot of customers who are really excited about fresh shrimp, and we need to increase our production capacity to be able to meet that need that we've demonstrated.
Can we head back to the shrimp and you kind of show the size that they are? You kind of talk about the size they are when you get them and how much bigger they will get when you harvest them for the customers to come and eat.
Yep, so with shrimp when they arrive, so they are, I'll grab them with the net, but so when they arrive, you can barely see them. You can barely see them, and they're 6 to 10 milligrams, but you can barely see them without a flashlight. This guy here that I'm about to show will be around 10 grams. You can see they're a relatively simple organism and active. So generally in our systems, it's 1 month in the grow out, or in the nursery, excuse me, and then 3 months in the grow out. So it's 4 months in our facility.
So Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, we do get in our supplies from Texas and Florida, hatcheries there, so we don't actually do the breeding and genetic work, just the nursery and the grow out.
How much bigger will they get? how much longer do they have to grow before they will be harvested?
Yep, so these shrimp have just a little bit further to grow. We usually harvest shrimp around 20 count per pound. So that means there's 20 shrimp in each pound you buy, and that is pretty common labeling that you will see in the seafood industry and in shrimp that you buy at the grocery store. Really a lot of what you'll see is a much lower quality product. And that's really what we're focused on, is trying to provide a fresh, high quality product to consumers. And it's a completely different taste than what you'll get in the grocery store. We like to say that we ruin grocery store shrimp, and I'm pretty confident that's the case. Because it really is so much better. And they're happy seeing that feed come in. That's what they're looking for.
So the feed comes out right there, right?
Yep, we got feeders on both sides of this tank. This tank, I should note, this tank is covered just to keep the humidity in and the shrimp in. They are active. If you just saw that one that jumped out of my hand, active, and they will jump out of the tank.
So how many gallons of water's in this tank, and how many pounds of shrimp are in this tank?
Yep, so this is around 1,000-gallon tank. We've got in here around 75 pounds of shrimp currently, which is starting to push densities and production in a positive way compared to what is done in traditional pond culture. So we're able to provide a much better production environment, very clear water versus what has existed in overseas production to date. So usually your production water and what you see, you won't be able to see your hand when you put your hand in the water. I mean, obviously in this system, that water you can see through my hand is very clear, very clear. Yeah, so these guys are jumpers. So as I just said, they will jump out of the tank and try to get, but they don't make it too far when they do that, even with so many legs.
Are they this active 24/7, or do they kind of have a down period?
Yeah, so they should be this active 24/7. So with what we're going for and what's been established in the literature, so we do follow what's been published in research studies, shrimp do best with 24-hour light and 24-hour feed. Keep growing all the time. So they don't sleep the same way we do. Yeah, so I just had, we can walk up front and answer any questions, if any have come in.
What is your favorite part of this working and doing the shrimp and the algae? What is the favorite part out of your day?
Yeah, so I love seafood, and we don't have any or much at all fresh seafood in Iowa. So I love the product. Fresh shrimp, I really can't stress it, is amazing. From our farm or from any farm, fresh shrimp is fantastic. So being able to produce in a sustainable fashion a product like that is really exciting. It's certainly challenging to build a water treatment system that can provide the optimum environment for those shrimp 24/7. We treat a lot of water. Those tanks are being turned over, that full 1,000 gallons, once or twice an hour, depending on how we're running it. So it's a lot of water being treated 24/7. And in our larger facility, it would be millions and millions of gallons being treated per hour, or per day, excuse me.
Someone asked, how warm is the water that the shrimp is in, and kind of their ideal environment?
Yep, so we keep our shrimp at 82 degrees through the whole cycle. So very warm. So you heat the water, usually with natural gas and some sort of boiler. The good news and why it's a huge opportunity to produce shrimp in Iowa, it comes down to multiple factors, but we have affordable electricity that is predominantly renewable through predominantly wind. So that powers the pumps and our LED grow lights. Number two, natural gas is affordable in Iowa and provides an opportunity to be able to heat the water cost effectively with a good system. And then finally, we produce a lot of feed here. And the amount of feed ingredients that are being developed through ethanol byproducts, food processing byproducts, that are great, high quality ingredients that are sustainable for fish production is really exciting in Iowa.
So what is exactly in a shrimp's diet other than that a little bit of algae that they get?
Yep, so shrimp diets have predominantly been kind of 4 main ingredients. So fish meal, fish oil, soybeans, and corn, generally tending towards the higher protein part of that. What is happening in feeds for all of aquaculture, including for us, is the diversification of nutrients and the lessening of dependence upon fish meal and fish oil. So people are developing single-cell protein products that are interesting, fermented soy products, that's actually byproducts, and algae oils, meals, and insect meal. There's a number of really interesting sustainable products that are coming that is, as we speak, lessening our dependence upon fish meal and fish oil.
Awesome. Well, that is all we have for today. I have no more questions. So thank you all for joining, and thank you so much, Jackson, for taking the time to do this for us. Have a great day.
Yep, thanks so much.